So, in order to, oh, there's a box that's open. In order to be more efficient, hi there. We have people that are generally setting up and doing this. So this is a box that looks like cereal that's in there right now, and we have one volunteer at the moment that is repackaging these pieces and setting them up into our Food for Kids and our senior outreach programs. What might happen normally is we've got people on both lines setting up, doing from the inside out and weighing things in the appropriate sizes. And I think that we put the oats and the cereal into 3 different size packages based on the feeding program. They get boxed into boxes like this and then go back up on the shelves in a manner that which it becomes inventory available for our pantries to use and for our own pantry. So the first 2 aisles of the warehouse are mostly Food for Kids program. A lot of people call it the backpack program, both of which are correct. Officially, we call it Food for Kids. This is a program that feeds over 12,600 students in public schools in our 18 county service area. So Second Harvest Food Bank is one of 5 food banks in the state of Tennessee. We're one of 200 in the United States, each of which have a geographic territory that we are responsible for. All of the public schools that are in the area have the opportunity to be a part of our Food for Kids program. There are, I believe, 281 of those schools right now that are in our program, and what happens with those is students that are on free and reduced meals program, students that are identified by faculty as maybe missing meals or going hungry, go into a program that we turn around and feed them every single Friday, 8 items from 4 different food groups that go into their backpack when nobody else is looking to give them something to eat over the weekend. It is not meant to feed them entirely. It is meant to supplement whatever meals they're getting on Saturday and Sunday, but it's a very important thing that allows students to not have to worry as much about food and come to school ready to learn because they've had some nourishment. It's not just for the student itself. The faculty knows that there is another child or a sibling in the household that is not in school, perhaps they're preschool aged, they will send them home with 2 or 3, depending on how many, of course, are in the household. That program is a rather expensive one, and part of it is because of the way that it's packaged. The lights will turn on when it senses motion in a moment. Everybody dance real quick. Turn the lights on. But the packaging is set up in a manner in which a child, we go with the lowest common denominator. We don't know what the household is like for a child that is in this program. They may or may not have a stove. They may or may not have cooking utensils or equipment. They may or may not have a microwave. They may not have an adult. They may not have a responsible adult in the household. And because we don't know that, we make sure that they don't need any of those things in order to feed themselves. So the packaging is set up in an easy open, easy to consume product line. So cans, boxes, and whatnot are pop-top types. You'll see that here in just a second when I can get to one of those boxes, and here's one. Where the cans are set up in a pop-top piece that all they need to do is be able to pull that thing open and they can eat right out of the can if it comes to that. So what's in those programs are, like I said, 8 items from 4 food groups, and it's stuff like peanut butter crackers, it's meat and cheese sticks, it's vegetables and fruits and pieces. Dietary and low sodium pieces are things that we focus on in that program. It's rather expensive, but it's something that is very, very needed. 12,600 students get fed, and we feel very, very good about that. I get asked a lot, why don't you take food or why don't you do food drives for Food for Kids? And the simple answer is that we need to be able to rely on a certain amount of food, a certain type of nutrition, a certain packaging when we need it. And because we can't always count on that, we buy everything in our Food for Kids program. Some of the items that we buy in our Food for Kids program come from other food banks, for instance. Nashville has food production capabilities in their food bank. That's another Feeding America food bank. And they don't just provide it for their own programs, they provide it for several other food banks, and we are one that buys some of our product from them. Every food bank operates a little bit differently, but all with the same goal, to put food in people's bellies.
Gotcha.
These first two aisles are nothing but food for kids that are set up in here, and the rest of the aisles is part of our food resource program, which is where the pantries, other agency partners that are our partners, rely on our capacity to buy in bulk at very inexpensive pricing and to be able to store it, because that makes things more efficient. Everything we do is with the goal is to be as efficient as we possibly can so that we can stretch a dollar as far as absolutely possible.